Good evening. Yes, TechTown, where all the tech comes first. Good evening and welcome to the Salute Awards at Toast of the Town, TechTown's annual fundraiser celebrating Detroit's innovators and entrepreneurs. Let's give all the innovators and entrepreneurs a round of applause. These folks are the risk takers and dreamers that challenge us to solve our problems in new and creative ways. And so now that I've been up here testing the mic, I can tell you who I am. Evidently, I did not major in mic studies. My name is Candace Fortman. I am honored to serve as the CEO of Outlier Media, which is a startup journalism organization here in the city. Yes, you can be a startup journalism organization. We serve low-income and working-class Detroiters via text message and investigative and accountability journalism around housing and utilities. And we are also proud co-working members of TechTown, along with some of my other friends in journalism like Bridge Magazine, who just walked in the building. So one of the best ways to support TechTown this evening is by bidding on their silent auction. You'll see the online address on the screen behind me. I am not going to turn around. I am going to trust that on this screen you see what Magic. There's some really fun stuff on there, including a bike ride with our own President Wilson. Clap it up with our own President Wilson. And speaking of, I want to first bring to the stage a dedicated leader in our community, Wayne State University, president and chair of TechTown's board, Roy Wilson. He and his wife, Jacqueline Wilson, are also an entrepreneur, are present throughout Detroit. I personally see them participating in everything from community events to student causes to galas and, of course, bike rides. Everyone, please welcome President Wilson to the stage.
Well, thank you, Candace. I want to thank everyone for being here. We have a bit of a joke around my cabinet. As many of you know, Ned is not only the CEO and president of TechTown, but he's also VP of Economic Development for Wayne State. And so in that role, he's on my cabinet. And we have a joke around the cabinet that starting around tomorrow, he'll be telling us almost every week when the next Toast of the Town is. It's true. So much so that I actually was out of town today. I had a meeting with the FBI today in Washington, and we were having some sessions on foreign theft of research, intellectual property, and things like that. And I was supposed to lead a session in the afternoon, and I said, no, I've got to go. Ned's going to be mad if I'm not there, so I can go. But in all seriousness, probably starting tomorrow, after they've had a chance to relax and enjoy the evening, they'll start actually working on next year's Toast of the Town, because this is their main, probably only fundraiser that they have. And so I so appreciate all of you being here and supporting. The silent auction was mentioned. I met with Ned earlier today. The only thing that hadn't had anybody bid on it yet was the bike ride with me. I can't imagine why people wouldn't want to bike with me, but it's still available, okay? Yeah, I told Ned to sweeten it up a little bit. Maybe we'll have a beer afterwards or something, so maybe we'll get a few takers. When you really think about it, Ned mentioned out there that this is the 6th year, and this Toast of the Town really has grown. And not only the Toast of the Town, but TechTown itself has really grown. 15 years ago, it was developed to service really the biotechnology and technology sector for the community service needs for that sector. But it's really grown way beyond that. And not only has TechTown grown, but this whole area, I think, is going to be one of the highlights of the Wayne State campus. This is going to be the innovation creativity hub, I believe. Because who could have imagined 15 years ago that you have iBio just down the street? Of course, you have TechTown, that's 15 years ago. But then also, we were able to purchase this magnificent building, the I2C, we call it. And then, I know Peter Cummings is here. Tata just moved into the building just right over here, the we call Criminal Justice Building. This was a building we were going to demolish around 2010, 2011. And for whatever reason, we didn't. And Peter Cummings and his group bought the building. And not only is Tata moving in, but I think WeWorks, there's going to be a nice restaurant. But the highlight is a art gallery for Wayne State's over 6,000, 7,000 pieces of art that we have no place to display. And so that, I think, is going to be the highlight. It was initially going to be on the Cass Avenue side, but it was underneath, that would have put it underneath some bathrooms. And so we thought that probably was not a good idea. So it's on the back side of the building now. And that actually, I toured it about a month ago. It turns out that that's actually better because it opens out into the common space of this building and TechTown. And I'm a firm believer in the juxtaposition of the sciences and the technology and the arts together. And so this is just going to be a bunch of creative energy going on around here. I think it's going to be just fabulous. Let me just conclude by mentioning that I can't mention all the award winners, but I do want to congratulate all of them and mention two that you know of already. Suzanne Shank as the Entrepreneur of the Year. She'll be properly introduced in a second. And the Small Business Champion of the Year, Invest Detroit. But to all of our award winners, will be announced later this evening, congratulations, and again, thank you all for being here.
Thank you again, President Wilson. Everyone's bidding on that bike ride, right? Don't let me beat you to it. It'll be a very slow ride, President Wilson, very slow. You do not want that. So please help President Wilson by not letting me win that. All righty. I am really excited because we are going to be presenting our first award very shortly, but before we do that, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge our presenting sponsor for this event, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and now we are going to do our People's Choice Award. With more than 1,300 votes cast, our first ever People's Choice Award comes right off of Plymouth and Southfield Freeway, Fusion Flair Kitchen and Cocktails.
Wow, I just really want to say thank you to my loyal customers, and I really want to say thank you to TechTown. You have really changed my life in so many ways. My first year anniversary was yesterday, October 9th, 1 year. And starting off was a little slow, and when TechTown got involved, my business went from 0 to 100. So I just really appreciate TechTown for everything it has done for me. Micah, and from so many people, even, I'm sorry, I just can't even think. Jenna from Media Catalyst, she really pushed Fusion Flair. I was a little nervous about even having a grand opening, but when she got involved and she got the media involved, my business really evolved. Today, my business is more than I even expected. Every day I'm getting new customers, and I get customers from all around the world, and even Canada. So I just really appreciate TechTown for everything it has done for me, and I just want to say thank you, TechTown.
Congratulations. As a resident of Grandmont Rosedale, you will see me often, and on a bike, perhaps even. I'm really selling this bike thing. So I have the distinct pleasure of bringing up our next guest, and it is Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, and I'm gonna say a few words about him that no one wrote but me, so good luck. Garland embodies the full spirit of Detroit. You can tell this because everywhere he has gone, be it national organizations, his work with the city of Detroit, or creating the U of M Center for Social Media Responsibility, and of course now, as our Lieutenant Governor, he brings the never-ending spirit of ingenuity into those spaces. He is even being recognized this very evening by the Michigan Chronicle as a game changer. And I don't think that there's a better way to describe Garland than that, a game changer. It is an honor to welcome Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist to the stage.
All right, so I'm a lot taller than Candace, so y'all might have to adjust that microphone a little. Good evening, everyone. It is really an honor to be here with you this evening for the TechTown Toast of the Town. And I want to reflect a little bit. I also want to bring greetings from my partner, our governor, Gretchen Whitmer. She sends her congratulations not only to the awardees tonight, but to this institution, to Wayne State University, a fantastic public research university based in my hometown of Detroit, Michigan, that my mother can call her alma mater. We're really proud of all the leadership that President Wilson, that you show, that this entire institution shows for our community, for our city, and our state. I think about TechTown was created in 2004, and I was in college in 2004. I graduated from Michigan in 2005. I'm not gonna lie to you, I like Michigan better than Wayne State. But hey, look, I'm here for all of that, okay? All of it. If I don't apologize to Gretchen Whitmer for being his partner, I'm not gonna apologize to y'all for it. Just saying. But I remember when TechTown was created, I was in college. And I went to engineering school, and I had this great life plan, what I wanted to do. I wanted to finish engineering school at Michigan. I wanted to go be a software developer at Microsoft. I was gonna quit, because that's what you do, you quit. I was gonna go to business school back in Michigan or at Stanford, then I was gonna move back home, and I was gonna start a business, in general, start a business. And one of the reasons why I thought that was a good plan was because this thing called TechTown had just opened in Detroit when I was in school. And I figured that this was a place where somebody like me, somebody with an idea, could go and get the support they needed to turn their idea into a reality, to turn it into a real business that could not only sustain itself, but that could support whatever market it was trying to pursue, but also support people in the community. That was something I was excited to do. Now, my plan didn't work. I did quit Microsoft, but it wasn't to go to business school. And I went on to pursue this. I had this kind of winding road to public service that's not worth getting into right now. But I will say that what's been constant is TechTown's presence in this community as a place where people with ideas could come, where they could come and get connected to other people who also are hungry to make their ideas real and put them into the world, to be connected with resources and professionals who care about them as people and also care about helping them to be successful, to make their dreams come true, and live out their best lives and their best businesses here in this community. That's important. That's what an anchor institution is supposed to do, provide the grounding and the foundation for the success of others. And I think Wayne State, I think TechTown truly embody that in a way that is the model or a model for the state of Michigan. So as now coming to you as Lieutenant Governor, I want to thank you for the work that you're doing every day in this community and for the example that you've set for incubators, and for supportive networks all across the country and across the state. But I have a specific job today, and that job is to introduce to you the Entrepreneur of the Year, Mrs. Suzanne Shea. Can we get a round of applause? So she truly embodies the sort of entrepreneurial, the innovative spirit that has made Michigan such a unique place. You know, dare I say, we have had more world-changing ideas and people come out of this place than any other state. And so I want to tell you a little bit about Ms. Shank. She is the chairwoman and CEO and the founder of Siebert Cisneros Shank & Company, LLC, a woman-owned investment banking and financial services company. Since 96, the company has been leading the way in assisting both private and public sector entities in raising funds in the capital markets. And under her leadership, the company has grown from a startup investment banking firm to one that has participated in more than $2 trillion, with a T, in municipal bond, corporate bond, and equity transactions. She is a 30-year veteran, although she don't look like it. She's a 30-year veteran of the financial services industry, and she has successfully positioned her firm to be recognized as one of the most diverse in the banking industry. As CEO, she develops strategies for new business growth and nationally and successfully manages the financial, operational, and regulatory aspects of the firm. But I want to tell you about what happened before that. Before she began her career in the financial services industry, she was a structural engineer, yes, for engineering people, a structural engineer at the Electric Boat Division of General Dynamics, where she served as the interface with the United States Navy, the company's top client, to help in contract negotiations. Now, if I was to list her many civic organization memberships, it would take a really long time. So I'm not going to go all over, but know that she is an active and fierce advocate and member of this community. But in addition to excelling in her CEO firm, she holds multiple director positions on national boards, seat on local boards, the Detroit Regional Chamber, Invest Detroit, the Skillman Foundation, and the DIA. She is also no stranger to receiving awards and recognition. In 2017, she received the Shot Caller Award at the BET Black Girls Rock Ceremony, as well as the Austin Keenan Career Achievement Award by the Municipal Forum of New York. The year before that, she was recognized with the Frida Johnson Award for Trailblazing Women in the Private Sector by the Bond Buyer, and was named one of the most 100 influential women by Crain's Detroit Business. In short, Ms. Shank's impressive experience and leadership have absolutely no doubt shown that she is more than deserving of this incredible award. I want to thank you for being a leader. Thank you for being an icon. Thank you for being an example. And congratulate you on being our Entrepreneur of the Year. Thank you. Please welcome Suzanne Shank.
I am Suzanne Shank, President and CEO and co-founder of Siebert Cisneros Shank & Company. Being named TechTown Entrepreneur of the Year really proves that all the hard work, perseverance, dogged determination of the 23 years since I've been an entrepreneur founding the firm really pays off. And it really proves that to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to be willing to defy conventional wisdom. I'm from the South, never knew anything about Wall Street growing up, later became an engineer, then an investment banker. If I can be at the helm of a major investment banking firm, it really means that any entrepreneur can achieve their goals and dreams. I think the future of Detroit and the success of inclusion of everyone in Detroit will depend on organizations like TechTown, who will help young businesses and young entrepreneurs really thrive. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor, for that kind introduction. And my sincerest thanks to TechTown, President Wilson, for this distinguished honor. I accept this on behalf of my entire team, my business partners, all of our employees. One of my greatest achievements, I've always thought, as an entrepreneur has been hiring the best talent in the industry and trusting in such passionate and competent collaborators. This honor is validation of many, many years of hard work. And I must say that it's particularly rewarding to me because my company is both majority woman-owned and majority minority-owned. And, I'm pleased to say that the firm's clients have supported me by being willing to embrace and reward a capable firm that happens to have diverse ownership. And for that, I'm deeply grateful. It's also fortuitous that I'm receiving this award just days after I announced that we're merging the firm and growing from 82 to 140 people, and merging with another top-ranked minority-owned firm such that we will be the largest minority-owned investment banking firm in the country. And no, I am not moving from Detroit. I've gotten that question many times. And, I have to thank Detroit because when we founded the firm in 1996, one of our first senior managed deals was for the city of Detroit under Mayor Dennis Archer. So this is my home, this is where my friends and family reside, and this is where I plan to remain. I've always believed that complacency is the enemy of a successful entrepreneur, so I really look forward to this merger, which will allow us to expand our business lines and propel us, hopefully, to new heights. I have to say, I wouldn't be standing here today without my village of support, and every entrepreneur understands that. And that includes my husband, who's traveling, working. He's my partner in life and my partner in the firm. My many friends who are here, I happen to sit on the Invest Detroit board, and congratulations to you, and Consumers Energy is here. I'm on that board as well. Thank you for being here. And my bestie, Veronica Murph, I have to say, is here supporting me as always. And I have to shout out to my right arm, literally, my assistant, Pamela Van Buren, who must be here somewhere. There she is. You cannot have her number because, great people like that are hard to find. And, I even want to thank my kids, although they're not here, because Mommy was always working and traveling, and they were always so understanding. So one bit of advice to the entrepreneurs in the room, you will have challenges, and they will be formidable. But overcoming those challenges will make your success all the more gratifying. And today, that gratification comes from me in receiving this award. So thank you so much.
Song, as they say. I'm Stephen Henderson, and you may know me as the host of Detroit Today on WDET, or the host of American Black Journal on Detroit Public Television, or the co-host of One Detroit, also on Detroit Public Television. It seems that you can't get away from me here in the local media market. My job tonight is to introduce to you my friend and the leader of TechTown, Ned Stabler. But first, let's give Suzanne Shank another really great round of applause. Both for her work and for that wonderful speech. So, I've known Ned a long time, and if you know Ned, and if you know him through social media the way I do, you know that he's somebody who's really, really passionate about standing up for the things that he believes. For instance, his very, very consistent, spirited campaign against Vernors. Despite the fact that Ned is a native Detroiter, despite the fact that they used to make Vernors just down the street from here, he is convinced that none of us should ever take a sip of this ginger soda that he sees as an absolute scourge among the soft drinks in this region. So I'm mostly joking, but seriously, if you check out his social media page, he is not joking about his dislike of Vernors. Really, though, the thing that I think Ned is most passionate about, and the reason that we're all here today, is TechTown and the work that TechTown does here in the city of Detroit. And you think about the things that converge at TechTown: technology, innovation, collaboration, community. Those are the things that really drive the spirit of Detroit, both in the past, in the present, and into our future. I've known Ned since we were students at the University of Detroit Jesuit High School together. He went to a college that he thinks is better than the one I went to here at the University of Michigan, but we'll get into that a little later. But Ned is really a bright light here in the city of Detroit, and he has created this incredible institution that is leading us forward. So, Ned, take the stage.
For the record, Vernors is nasty. It is medicine. See, if you're a real Detroiter, you know Vernors is what you take when you're sick. See? Yeah, people know, right? Your mom made you take it when you were sick. And so Vernors is medicine. So, nasty. Well, thank you, I think, Stephen. It has been a long time since those days at U of D High. A long time. We are getting old, aren't we? You're a couple years older than me, so yeah. Well, welcome everyone. Wow, President Wilson, the Lieutenant Governor, Suzanne Shank, even old Mr. Stephen Henderson, who used those years wisely. I think you have a Pulitzer Prize, is it? Yeah. So this is a tough act to follow. So I'm going to try and be really short and to the point. But I do have a little bit of housekeeping that I have to take care of. I want to make sure to thank the many, many people who helped put this great event together and who supported us throughout this year and throughout the 15 years that we've been here. Because, Stephen gave me a lot of credit for helping to lead this organization for the last 5 years, but I showed up with 10 years of an amazing foundation already. And I see many friendly faces from folks who have worked here and tenants here. David Weaver mentioned to me earlier that he was one of the very first tenants when the place first opened 15 years ago. So it is not just me, it is really all of you, and I want to make sure to recognize everyone. So first I want to thank our sponsors, and I want to especially thank the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, who is our presenting sponsor. Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist filled in for Jeff Mason, who's their CEO. He could not be here tonight because it's his wedding anniversary, and for some reason he thought that was a more important event. It shows about, Lansing and their priorities. Thank you also to Accenture, who we partner with on so many efforts, including their amazing Skills to Succeed program. Thank you to the New Economy Initiative, not just for sponsoring this event, but for your long partnership and the amazing work you've done to support startups in Detroit and bin-ups in Detroit, which we think is so important. Thank you to JP Morgan Chase, who has been a great partner and sponsor, especially in all of our neighborhood work, which we have been doing now for a good 7 or 8 years. And thank you also to our other lead sponsors, Comcast, the DTE Energy Foundation, Henry Ford Health System, Vector Form. Jason, you're going to get the bike ride this year, I know it. Walker Miller Energy Services and Wayne State University, specifically the Mike Ilitch School of Business, the College of Engineering, the Division of Government and Community Affairs, the Law School, the School of Medicine, and the Office of the Vice President for Research. So can we have a big round of applause for all of our sponsors? Thank you. And when you head back across the street for the party afterwards, you'll see their names as well as the names of all of our other sponsors that are going to be rotating throughout the night on the board. So now I'd like to thank the members of the TechTown family who are here, and I want to start with our board of directors. Can we give them a really big round of applause, please? I especially want to thank the chair of our executive committee, Chris Reisig, who I know is not here because he's out of the country, but according to what I've been watching while we've been sitting here, he's still trying to outbid me for the Zamboni ride in the silent auction. I will get him as soon as I am done, so that I have incentive to make this short and sweet. I also want to thank Steve Ambrose from DTE, who's been our fundraising committee chair the last few years, because at the end of the day, this event is indeed about raising money, and he has been a tremendous advocate for us. I will say he is termed out. His term of service on our board is termed out at the end of this year and is rolling off. So if anyone wants to volunteer, let us know. I'm sure Daniel Manley would happily take someone with an amazing Rolodex and no fear of asking people to make donations to take his place. And then I also want to make sure to thank my boss in two places, so we're going to give him a double round of applause. Wayne State President and TechTown Board Chair, Emroy Wilson, and his wonderful wife, who is an entrepreneur as well, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for all of your support. And I'm just going to get ahead of it. Roy, we're 365 days away from Toast of the Town 2020. I hope you guys have booked a date already. So. Okay, so next up, I want to thank our amazing TechTown team. Why don't you guys stand up? In fact, everybody stand up. I know some of you have been wondering, why are these people standing on stage? And there's some other people around. No, don't be shy. You're in the back. You have to stand up. There's two reasons for that. One, this night is about showcasing a lot of the work that we do, and our clients. And we wanted to make sure to put them front and center so that they get the recognition they deserve. The other reason is we sold out all the seats in the audience because this is a fundraiser, but we really did want to show them a lot of love because these folks, and stay standing back there, no cheating, these folks are the most amazing, talented, passionate, dedicated group of individuals I have ever worked with. I am so honored to get to work with them every day. I really encourage each and every one of you after this event to go and find one of these people. Take a look around at who they are. Take a look around. Afterwards, go and see them. Ask them about not only the work that their clients are doing all over the city, and you'll see a little more about that as we go, but also ask them about who they are and their stories and why they're doing it. Because every single one of them could go out in the private sector and make not a lot more money tomorrow if they weren't. But they choose to come here and do this because they're so passionate about the city and about this work, and they're just amazing. And I'm sure if you go and ask them about it, which I encourage you to do, you'll be just as impressed as I am. So thank you, each and every one of you. I also want to make sure to thank you for coming out. It's a Thursday night. There are lots of other events going on. Thank you so much for coming out and spending some time with us to celebrate. And also, thank you for investing. We know you bought tickets and you made sponsorships, and we really appreciate it. And we do everything we can to make sure your dollars are well spent. And I hope after you see this and meet some of our entrepreneurs over in the shop across the street and the tech entrepreneurs that are there demonstrating their products, that you'll feel that your investments were well spent. So thank you very much. And then finally, I want to thank our entrepreneurs because the work that you do is what's amazing, what's inspiring to all of us. It's why we get out of bed every morning, is to help you revitalize our city and realize your dreams. And we just thank you so much for coming out and celebrating with us tonight. So let's give you a big round of applause. Now, remember when I said I was going to keep it short and to the point? Well, that starts now, really. I promise, because it's been 15 years and 6 Toast of the Towns, and wow, that's still crazy to me. And in the past, I've used this time to tell you all about the amazing things that TechTown and frankly, really our clients have done over the last year and how your support has made all of this possible. And I could definitely do that again this year. Last year I told you about one of our clients who opened up the first sit-down restaurant in Jefferson Chalmers in more than a generation. And this year, because the West Side is the best side, you've already seen one of our clients opening the first sit-down restaurant in the Joy Southfield neighborhood in over 20 years. You just saw her accept her People's Choice Award. Now, our shop program has had record attendance and their clients have record revenues. Our retail boot camp program has as well. It's been such a successful model that they're now doing it in Providence and Boston, and there are at least a dozen cities closer to home that are talking to us about how do they replicate that model here as well. We've intentionally built the most inclusive and representative professional services network and Ask an Expert programs in the country. Our tech clients are going out and raising money and getting customers and winning awards locally and globally. The co-working space at TechTown is packed to the gills. We have a waiting list for office and lab space upstairs. We're managing this amazing building to facilitate partnerships between industry and Wayne State University. We've got 2 new neighborhood workspaces in the pipeline, one in Southwest Detroit and the other over by the new FCA plant in partnership with Eastside Community Network. So there's a ton going on I could tell you about, and I just took a backhanded way of doing it. But with all that said, I want to zoom out just a little bit. TechTown has grown from 20 people 5 years ago to about 50 today. And just this year we've added new programming like COACT, our nonprofit support center up on the boulevard, Detroit Urban Solutions, a smart city consortium and innovation district, and the Wayne State University Innovation Studio, which is a student entrepreneurship program that actually operates right here out of this building. And I get asked a lot about focus and mission creep. But what I can tell you is I am 100% incredibly confident that we have not strayed one iota from our mission. Our goal, our focus, our vision isn't about our tech work or our SWAT City program or our DTX program or RBC or frankly any of our programs. If a program isn't delivering results, we practice what we preach. We pivot, we tweak it. We're going to go find a more efficient use of our resources and a better way to help our customers and our clients. Our mission is clear. We are 100% focused on inclusive economic development in the city of Detroit. We're opening doors to opportunity and strengthening our economy, our neighborhoods, and our city. We're making sure that everyone gets to participate in the revitalization that is happening all around us. Economic development is what it's about. Economic development is about identifying your assets and using them more effectively and intentionally. And one of Detroit's most valuable assets is its talent. Now, I know you're thinking, did he just say talent? Because haven't we heard for years about the lack of talent in Detroit? Didn't Amazon just publicly out us as being devoid of talent? Aren't employers always complaining that they can't find the talent necessary to fill their high-skilled jobs? But I'm going to double down on that. Detroit is full of talent. But here's the rub. That talent doesn't always look like or sound like or have the characteristics or experiences or use the language or symbols or code words that Amazon expects. I don't think I'm saying anything revolutionary in this day and age when I point out that the models of professional behavior and success that we use are overwhelmingly white and young and male. And as a result, the filters we use to identify talent are created with the same lens. It's true, Detroit is not teeming with 25-year-old white dudes with bachelor's degrees in computer science from U of M, but Detroit is full of talent. This year, our small business clients are over 85% people of color, and they are 60% owned by women. Yeah. And we're not just talking about retail and service and restaurants. We're talking about tech. At TechTown, we teach a version of what's called lean startup. And long story short, a big part of that process is you take a hypothesis and you test it. So we teach this to our clients. Go out and ask your customer, do they really want X? Are they seeing a value from me in my product? Well, we had a hypothesis. We had a hypothesis that there was a ton of tech talent in Detroit that existing accelerators, including our own, were not meeting. So we tested it. These programs, they meet during the day, so if you have a 9 to 5, you can't make them. There's no childcare, and they're offered in places with expensive parking. You have to be a college student or a college grad to get in. Sometimes you just have to be in the right network to even hear about them in the first place. So we tried something new called Start Studio. It was held at night and on weekends with lots of flexibility to meet with your coaches on your schedule. You could bring your kids. We have free parking. We reached out intentionally to our networks all over the city. And guess what? Last month, we finished the pilot cohort of a dozen entrepreneurs with tech ideas and held a showcase right here on this stage. 90% of the entrepreneurs were people of color. 50% were women. 30% of these tech entrepreneurs had no bachelor's degree. 90% had another job. 50% were over the age of 35. 20% of them were over the age of 55. Most of them have kids. One of these women had 10 kids. Yeah, that's crazy. 10 kids. So you're telling me this woman with 10 kids, a full-time job, and a tech idea doesn't have talent? BS. What she doesn't have is access to the same opportunities because of the preconceived notions that we bring to our definitions of talent. This is our mission, ensuring that we can access all of this talent and connect it to opportunities and to resources and to the revitalization of our city. And this is my challenge to you. Stop accepting the conventional wisdom about Detroit. I get it. It's harder. It takes intentionality, but come and see for yourself. Don't expect talent or success in Detroit to look or sound or act like it does in New York, or like it does in Chicago, or like it does in the Valley. Clear your filters. Expand your definitions. Trust the results. Invest in Detroit. TechTown is about inclusive economic development all over the city. We're helping people break cycles of intergenerational poverty. We're helping them create wealth. We're helping them realize their dreams of owning and operating businesses all over the city of Detroit. We're helping to make this city more prosperous and make that prosperity sustainable.
When I initially opened up in October with our soft opening, it started off a little slow, and then TechTown got Jennifer involved with marketing and things like that, and it grew like overwhelmingly overnight. Every resource I could possibly imagine TechTown has been able to fulfill. This is the first sit-down restaurant over here in this area in over 2 decades, and it's been exciting because our customers are loving it.
There's not one day that I leave discouraged. It's the most motivating atmosphere from our people-to-people connections, from just being in a body of people where you realize you're not alone. It's really awesome for a young entrepreneur.
TechTown made it very, very abundantly clear. Get your systems in place first. Make sure that this thing works like a clock before you spend a dime in marketing. And that's exactly what we needed right at that moment.
You know, every entrepreneur you meet, it's just you feed off each other, you feed off each other's spirit, and you help each other out, and that's what's great about it.
I like to be a part of making something fresh happen in this neighborhood. I think the heart of the city lies in Detroit neighborhoods, and I like being a part of making that happen. It's hard when you work in your business and trying to work on your business. So TechTown is so corny, but it's a godsend, most definitely.
First thing is DTX. I mean, it's an accelerator program that they pay you to work on your idea. What's better than that?
Then we've been in incubation with TechTown, and they have helped us in many, many ways. So as engineers, we didn't learn a lot about business. So they were really here to help us learn how to interact with customers, find the right marketing practices, and really run a business the right way.
You know, some other entrepreneurs were talking, they said, hey, have you heard about TechTown? You have a tech company, maybe you can go there, and maybe you can collaborate with other individuals. And there's this energy and this excitement. There's so many great people here, and the goal is to provide whatever type of support they can to help you become successful. Because what it does is it puts so many of us entrepreneurs together in the same space. Every day you come into TechTown, it's a networking event.
All over the city of Detroit, there are people with ideas, with dreams, with needs, with wants for their communities and their neighborhoods. Being an entrepreneur is one way to help provide those amenities in a neighborhood, to create jobs, to create opportunities, to generate wealth. It's really an important part of the entire ecosystem, and we're so proud that we get to be a part of it here.
Let's go build something. Like, let's just go do it right now. I want to harken back to something that Ned said, because I think it's really important. Clear your filters. I think that can't be said more, and it's such a really great way for us to think about who we consider to be talent. Thank you again, Ned, for a wonderful speech. I have the honor to bring up Pam Lewis, who is the director of the New Economy Initiative. And I want to say something. I was going to say this, but I'm going to say something different. One of the things that is really wonderful about growing up in Detroit for me was that every time I looked around, I saw women who looked like me in positions like the one that Pam was in. And so I never had a second thought in my head that I couldn't become the CEO of something. Now, I might have questioned it a little bit about whether it was time, but I never thought it wasn't possible. And that is because every time I looked around, I saw incredible women like Pam doing wonderful work, like the work being done at the New Economy Initiative. A couple of weeks ago, I hosted a panel discussion around a short film show that they did with entrepreneurs. And what I saw in those short films were people who were innovating in communities that are often ignored in the city, who were building putt-putts and that were being run by teenagers from the accounting side to the marketing side to the customer service side. I saw people who were running bee gardens and thinking about how science and health come into that important work. And I realized that could only happen because people believe so deeply in the communities here in Detroit. And that is the direct work of Pam Lewis and NEI and their team. And I want to bring her to the stage now.
I wasn't expecting that. Thank you, Candace. Good evening, everyone. How are you? I'm really honored. You know, first of all, I think we need to change the name of TechTown to Inspiration Town. I'm sorry. That was great. You know, it's funny because I've been involved with TechTown for 10 years, and just to see what it's evolved to is incredibly inspirational, even though we do this work every day. But I'm really honored to be a part of tonight's ceremony and proud of the work we do at the New Economy Initiative to strengthen this community of entrepreneurship in the entire region. I have the honor today, though, I'll cut right to the chase, of presenting the Small Business Champion of the Year Award. A champion is one, you know, guys know what a champion is, but I always Google definitions. A champion is one who fights or advocates for the cause of or on behalf of others, and this organization has done plenty of that in the city of Detroit. I am presenting the 2019 Small Business Champion of the Year Award to none other than Invest Detroit. Come on up, team. Derek, Tasha, and all you other Invest Detroiters, wave your hands. Now, this team at Invest Detroit works every day to improve the quality of life in our community for every resident and business owner. I can't think of any organization more deserving of this award. I'm really pleased to present this to Invest Detroit for their inclusive practices and tireless work that provides our city businesses with greater access to economic opportunities. Congratulations to the entire Invest Detroit team. Where are you?
Hi, my name is Derek Edwards. I'm Senior Vice President here at Invest Detroit.
And I'm Jason Barnett, Vice President, Invest Detroit.
Our job is to help those entrepreneurs who are challenged with getting capital to help to realize the opportunity to get capital where they wouldn't in other spaces.
We're here to create jobs, help women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, and we're here to create jobs for Detroiters and also to activate vacant and blighted space.
Small business is a major, major portion of what is helping to drive the revitalization of the city. So to be able to contribute to that change overall is such a fantastic thing for us to be a part of. You can see those changes both from individuals and how it changes their lives to the impact it has directly on their communities and neighborhoods.
You're here to be with those entrepreneurs through ups and downs and to ultimately cross the finish line of the ribbon cutting is just the greatest feeling. So to be able to be honored as Small Business Champion of the Year, words cannot describe.
Good evening, everyone. So my colleague Tasha and I stand before you proudly representing a team of 33 at Invest Detroit, and so I'll ask them to kind of wave their hands. No, they have to stand up. Oh, I'm sorry. Tasha says you do have to stand. So first and foremost, we definitely thank TechTown for this recognition. It's awesome to do the work we do every day, and obviously we don't do it for the accolades, we do it for our love of our city, but to be recognized in what we do is such a fantastic thing. So first, we want to definitely thank the Ned and the TechTown team, obviously Wayne State University, but we also want to thank our partners in this wide small business ecosystem. Without them, we wouldn't have the ability to leverage their strengths with ours to be able to do the work that we do. So we definitely thank them, and the names are too numerous to list out. But we also want to thank the entrepreneurs that allow us the opportunity to work closely with them so that they can recognize their dreams and, very importantly, be a part of the revitalization, the inclusive revitalization of our city. So we thank them all very, very much for the work that they've done with us and hope that they continue to stand alongside as we continue to do the work we do. Thank you.
I think now is a good time to say a man that does not believe in Vernors does not deserve a Zamboni ride. So I assume that everyone is going on now to outbid Ned. He does not deserve that Zamboni ride. Bring him back to, oh man, 20 minutes, come on, don't disappoint me. The next two awards have a really special place in my heart. I was telling the team when we were going through the scripting that I grew up the daughter of a serial entrepreneur. We had a catering company that was not a great idea. And then from there, we had a pager and cell phone store that my mother ran out of our basement. My grandfather built the office space out, and so on one side when you walked in, you see the laundry room, and then on the other side was the pager and cell phone store, which is a logical place to buy a pager and cell phone in 1995. And then finally, like a program very similar to what happens here at TechTown, she was able to get into that and got a small grant which allowed her to go back to school and eventually open Fortman's Tax and Accounting, which is the company that she was best at running. And that is what she did. And it changed our family's life. That allowed for me to be able to not worry about college debt, to be able to go to camps and do all sorts of interesting things. And so I have a really special place in my heart for the work of entrepreneurs. It also meant that I never had a single thing happen at school that my mother could not show up for because she was in charge of her schedule. So that was always really special to me. Anyhow, we are here at the final awards. We are the only thing standing between you and the tequila bar across the street. So we're gonna make this pretty quick. These are the people moving Detroit forward. And for the first time ever, we are all going to find out together who the winners are. So the building across the street, the one that we know the best, and everyone here has visited, is the place that we think of when we think about what is special about TechTown programs for small businesses and tech entrepreneurs. And it's really moving the needle. Their dedicated team has touched the lives of nearly 2,700 people since they began this work. In here it says that you're supposed to clap at that. It was very natural, Ned. Did you see that? And let me tell you that TechTown does what it takes to get people on their path to success, including always having the coffee ready every time I go in, which I really personally appreciate. The staff of TechTown fans out all over the city to meet people where they are, whether it's workshops, ribbon cuttings, open office hours. These people use every tool at their disposal to start, stabilize, and help scale businesses. And here to present the final awards for this evening is Shannon Smith, TechTown board member and middle market banker at JP Morgan Chase. But before I bring out Shannon, I have to say again, is anyone feeling competitive and really wants to beat Ned at that Zamboni? It's right here in the scripting, I have to say that, but also don't forget that bike ride. Shannon.
Good evening. Before I begin, I just wanted to just say a personal story about how I got here and how I became a middle market banker. When I was 16 years old, there was this program called the Detroit Summer Finance Institute that exposed Detroit students to finance. And as a young teenager from the west side of Detroit, it was the program that put me on the path to study economics, to go to the Fed, and to end up at JP Morgan Chase. That program was started by Suzanne Shank, and so I just want to say I'm very grateful for you and the opportunity that you provided me. So thank you again. So yeah, it's not lost on me that I'm the only thing standing between everyone in that tequila bar. But I'm really proud to serve on the board of TechTown because I see firsthand how the work that TechTown does changes the lives of entrepreneurs. I'm really excited to be revealing the TechTown clients for tech and small businesses, so I'll quit stalling. The winner of the TechTown on Tap for Technology is In Biologics. For the way that they expertly leverage the support of the team and their entrepreneur in resident, Jeff Ponders, to grow their business. In Biologics.
Well, I'm Rami Habib. This is my co-founder, Sean Carroll, and we are the creators of HoneyCure. It's an all-natural, scientifically backed veterinary wound care product.
And together, what it really does is it promotes wet wound healing. And so for pets, this is a huge thing because you can put the wound care product right in the wound, and the oils make it not taste like honey, not smell like honey, so they're not licking it. So it really promotes positive wound healing. And we use what's called a medical grade honey when we do this. And this honey is based in medical science. It actually promotes quality wound healing in a faster amount of time. So you see things heal up to 15 days faster with our product. And it really helps out the animals quite a bit. Veterinarians love to use it. A lot of our customers who have bought it over the counter have really, really liked it as well.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for coming out tonight and supporting TechTown. I think for both Rami and myself, we wouldn't be here at all today if it wasn't for the Detroit Technology Exchange Program, DTX. We wouldn't be here at all. And afterwards, the incubation program, when we were first in incubation with Francis Glory and now Jeff Ponders, it has kept us on track, and it has taught us when to pay attention to unique business opportunities and disregard things that might get us in trouble. So it has been absolutely beneficial. From Joe LeCavalier, our first coach, to Francis, the whole team at TechTown, Jeff, Andrea, Erica, everyone at the front desk, to Paul and everyone in the back offices who have been here and given us all the little bits and the huge advice that we've gotten. It's been absolutely amazing and instrumental in making us successful as we are today. And then our families too, from Rami's parents in Egypt. I know they're gonna be super excited, and Rami's gonna get 5 phone calls by the end of the night, I know it. It's ringing right now. And from my parents and everyone, Amanda, we've just had such a unique and awesome support group, and we've had the fortune of building a great team with Deborah Pierce and Jeremy Munsterman and everyone that we've been growing as we've grown as a business. So thank you.
Congrats again. As a banker working with small, medium, and large businesses at JP Morgan Chase, I've watched the impact that TechTown's small business service team has had on the people of this community. From 2 neighborhoods to now serving the entire city, I can tell you that this work matters. Okay, now without further delays, the winner of the TechTown on Tap for Small Business is Fusion Flair Kitchen and Cocktails. For their perseverance and commitment to giving their community a wonderful place to gather and eat.
Hi, I'm Michelle Sykes. I am the executive chef at Fusion Flair Kitchen and Cocktails. Fusion Flair offers American and soul food cuisine, which is freshly prepared on a daily basis. Everything is professionally prepared from scratch, locally sourced. We have handcrafted cocktails. My favorite part is to see the smiles on my customer face. This is the first sit-down restaurant over here in this area in over 2 decades. So I wanted to be that change. I wanted to be a part of the redevelopment over here. And it's been exciting because our customers are loving it. They're getting fresh food, freshly prepared on a daily basis. We're at 16801 Plymouth Road between Greenfield and Southfield. Wow, I'm just overwhelmed. First of all, I'd just like to thank TechTown again for all the support you have given us. Again, Micah has been my rock since day one. Micah, I really appreciate everything you have done for us. Again, Jennifer from Catalyst Media, you have been a major part of Fusion Flair. Again, my husband for believing in my dream, and everybody that supports Fusion Flair on a regular basis. I just thank you guys, and I just love you, and I thank TechTown again. I appreciate everything you guys have done for us. Thank you.
We did it. We made it to the end. You're almost at that tequila bar. It's gonna happen. I just wanna thank everybody again for coming out this evening and for celebrating the spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation here in Detroit. Make sure that when you go back across the street that you talk to the folks that you've seen tonight on screen. Get to know more of their stories because it's about more than what they do in their 9-to-5 lives. Get to know who they are outside of that 9-to-5. And tequila makes that a lot easier. You know, it really does make it easy. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Have a good night.